Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're taking a look at a totally unassuming source document. It's just a brief digital memo containing 3 specific links. But honestly, we're going to decode it, because hidden right inside those URLs is an absolute roadmap for the cybersecurity industry. We're going to take that raw data and transform it into a structured blueprint, taking you all the way from messing around in a home lab to confidently navigating the enterprise landscape. So what actually separates an amateur hacker who just likes breaking things from a highly valued true cyber professional? It's the ultimate question, right? Okay, let's dive into this because the 3 links provided in our source give us a surprisingly clear answer. It's not just about knowing how to type code fast in a terminal. It's about practice, protocol, and professional standard. Here's our agenda for today. 1. The Cyber Learning Blueprint. 2. Mastering good lab notes. 3. Web security testing methodology. 4. Defining cybersecurity workforce roles. And 5. Synthesizing the 3 pillars. Let's get right to it. Section 1. The Cyber Learning Blueprint. Building the foundation of a professional mindset. Think of this blueprint as our overarching concept for today. It's a structured approach that basically takes your raw, unrefined technical capability and transforms it into a professional methodology, one that fits perfectly into standardized industry roles. You see, our documentation didn't just hand us 3 random bookmarks. It outlined 3 very specific stages of this professional transformation. So let's look at the very first stage. Section 2. Mastering good lab notes. Practical practice with Chioptrics. When most people fire up a technical lab like Von Hub's Chioptrics Level 1, they immediately think the entire goal is just to hack the machine, right? Just find the exploit and you're done. But our source makes a really fascinating distinction here. The primary focus of this entry isn't actually the exploit itself. It's learning what good lab notes actually look like. You know, many candidates actually fail technical interviews not because they can't hack the box, but because they literally cannot communicate how they did it. In the professional world, if you don't write it down, it just didn't happen. And this brilliantly illustrates the divide between the amateur and the professional. On one hand, you have unstructured hacking. That's your undocumented trial and error where all your progress just vanishes the second you close your terminal. But on the other hand, you have meticulous lab notes, documented pathways, the exact commands you used, the specific outputs you got back in repeatable actions. It's a professional record of exactly what you did, how you did it, and why. Building this documentation habit early is absolutely crucial. It's the bedrock of a cyber career. Section 3. Web Security Testing Methodology. Scaling up with OWASP. Now, you might be wondering, what happens when you graduate from a single lab and suddenly need to test massive, complex enterprise systems? Well, you need an architectural blueprint. And that brings us to the OWASP, or Open Worldwide Application Security Project, Web Security Testing Guide. Listen, this isn't just a list of handy tips. It is the definitive global methodology for web security testing. It takes that individual documentation habit we were just talking about and scales it all the way up to a universally recognized protocol. The source gives us a very clear, systematic path forward here. Step 1. You have to move completely beyond ad hoc testing. No more just poking at a system hoping to find a vulnerability. Step 2. Adopt this official OWASP guidance. And Step 3. Implement standardized web security testing methodologies. This completely elevates a tester from someone just randomly exploring code to an auditor who is guided by a rigorous, structured execution plan. So let's pause for a second and assess exactly where we are in our blueprint. You've got the practical lab notes down, you have the official testing methodology adopted, but there's still a missing piece, right? How do you actually map these hard-earned technical skills to a standardized career? Like, how do you explain what you do to an HR department or a future employer? Section 4, Defining Cybersecurity Workforce Roles, the NIST-NICE Framework. Enter the NIST-NICE Framework Resource Center, created by the National Institute of Standards and Technology. This provides exactly what an aspiring professional needs. It is the official guidance for standardizing cybersecurity workforce language and skills across the entire industry. I like to think of this as the building codes and zoning laws for the cybersecurity profession. It takes the Wild West of hacking skills and organizes the whole shebang into formal, recognized career tracks. Now, what's really interesting about this framework is how cleanly it organizes such a complex industry. Its entire purpose is establishing official guidance, and it's built on 2 core elements: standardized workforce language and categorized skills. This means when you go to apply for a job, the terminology you use to describe your lab notes and your OWASP methodologies maps exactly to what the hiring manager is looking for on their end. To quickly summarize what the source tells us, the NIST NICE framework provides three critical things: official guidance for professionals, a unified workforce language so everyone from the engineers to the executives is speaking the exact same language, and clear definitions of required skills. It literally maps the practical actions you took on your keyboard directly to official industry terminology. Section 5. Synthesizing the three pillars, tying the memo together. We've covered all three sources. Let's move forward and see how this builds across a professional timeline. It's a very clear evolution. Phase 1 is your practical practice, getting your hands dirty with vuln hubs, Keyoptrics, and mastering those lab notes. Phase 2 scales that up to official methodology, adopting the OS testing guides. And finally, Phase 3 is workforce alignment, where you take those skills and align them with the NIST NICE framework to finally secure your role in the industry. So the core takeaway here is that these are three interconnected pillars required for a structured cybersecurity profession: practice, protocol, and profession. You simply cannot have a robust career by just doing one. The lab notes give you the skill, the OWASP guide gives you the scale, and the NIST framework gives you the career structure. They are intrinsically, permanently linked together. We've successfully decoded that unassuming memo into a concrete roadmap for success. You now understand exactly how practical documentation, official testing methodologies, and standardized workforce frameworks combine to create a true professional. So now that you have the ultimate blueprint, which pillar are you going to build first? Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and I absolutely cannot wait to see what you build.